Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Earlier today I was watching the documentary Life After Pi, and I don't know if you've watched it, but pretty much this documentary describes what happened to the VFX company Rhythm and Hues after they worked on The Life of Pi. They pretty much won an Academy Award for their VFX work on that film, and 2 weeks before they won that award, they had declared bankruptcy. So that's great. And not only does the documentary talk about that, but also about the VFX industry in general and how it's been for the workers and, you know, layoffs and all of this. And it's so interesting because this was made 10 years ago. 10 whole years ago. And you'd think things would be better. I don't know if you would, but you would like for it to be better. Anyways. And I don't really feel like it's very much so. And I really do recommend this documentary. It's very interesting. Go have a look. It's all up on YouTube, actually. So this watch spurred me into wanting to talk about the state of it all. Gaming industry, animation industry, film industry, all of this stuff. Sort of from my point of view as barely a junior artist. And in the background there will be some speed painting going on of a commission I did recently. It's pretty cute. It's like anime manga style. I had a really fun time making it. Thank you so much for the commission. I really do enjoy making these videos because they're way easier to edit from my point. I get to talk about a lot of interesting things and learn about a lot of different things myself. So I hope you guys will enjoy. And I also want to say that there might be some factual errors here that I've just done the wrong research or whatever. So please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. So to start this off, let me tell you about myself and my own experiences and my own background with all of this. So I've done art pretty much my whole life, but I never saw it as a viable option as a career. Sadly, I kept drawing in my spare time, but I never pursued any sort of education or anything like that. It wasn't until I was around 30 that I found a game artist program in my city. I think we didn't have one before, but this was the first time we had one, and I was like, hell, I want to do that. So I quit my job and I went to study game art for 2 years. And I've been an intern at like indie companies as an artist and as an animator. I've interned at a VFX company before, and I've been at a startup company that's sort of related. I did some 3D stuff there as well. So I've been around a little bit, but I don't really have that much experience. I guess as seen from the industry's point of view. I graduated pretty much exactly a year ago from now, and as I've said, I've done a little bit of stuff here and there, but most of the time I've either been looking for a job or I've been just working on my own things, because finding a job in the creative industries right now as a junior is very hard. And I don't doubt that it's always been hard, but with today's economy, all the layoffs and everything that's going on, it's very, 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 very complicated right now. I keep this Google Sheet thing where I put in everything, like all the jobs that I've applied for, and the status of the application, if they answered or if they haven't answered, and I have percentages and all this stuff, and it's not looking very good. So here we have about 118 jobs that I applied for last year, and out of that number, barely half, or pretty much half, I guess, and even answered anything at all. And I got 3 interviews out of that. I don't know how it is in the areas in which you guys work, but when you're doing 3D art and stuff, sometimes you get to do tests. And usually they are like 3D art tests or animation tests or anything like that, so that the employer can see what, you can do. And I did get to do some tests, but they were IQ tests, which I've been seeing quite frequently lately when I'm looking for jobs. And it's quite... job searching is not very human. These days, you mostly don't even get to talk to a person at all. Usually it's automated answers, IQ tests, whatnot. And, it feels really dehumanizing, honestly. Like, I do understand that these companies are getting so many applications that they couldn't possibly go through them, but, I mean, at least the automated answers are okay, I guess. But some of the places don't even do that. And it's just like, okay, well, why did I even, And I'm fully aware that this is probably not something unique to me or anything. Like, this is what it looks like looking for a job right now for a lot of people. When I'm been talking to my peers and people around me and everything, it's pretty much similar looking all over. For those, example, from my class or people from my school who's gone to the same program as me, usually the people who got a job, either they're really good, like too good. Understandable that they get a job immediately, Or people that have gotten just, they were at the right place at the right time, or they knew someone, and that's great. But if you're not like the best thing ever, and you weren't at the place, then you just, then you're where I am at, sort of. Which is in a very frustrating place. As you maybe know, if you've followed me, I work part-time, and it's unrelated to what I actually want to do. Like, it's a good part-time job, I'm not gonna complain. You need to pay rent and eat food. But it's a frustrating place nonetheless. So if we move away from my personal experience and look into the industry and what it's been looking like for, I guess, a couple of years, it's also looking like a big frustrating place as well, actually. I've been looking around at numbers, and I'm sorry if I'm getting some of these numbers wrong, but I guess this is like approximately. If we're gonna trust Wikipedia, and over 10,000 jobs were lost in 2023, and an additional 10,000 jobs were lost in 2024 in the gaming industry. I also found layoff trackers, which is very interesting that someone felt like they needed to, track all the layoffs. So we got a layoff tracker for 2023 and 2024, and it's not only gaming, but it's in, anything related, animation, VFX. And there's a lot of big names here. We got Pixar, we got DNEG, Paramount, Sony, DreamWorks, EA, Microsoft, Riot. We got everyone. Everyone's here. And everyone's laying off people. And I'm not necessarily blaming, all the big shots and like, oh, they're taking away the jobs and they took our jobs and, all this. It's more like this is just the state of what it's looking like right now. And the economy, like, people just don't have money. I mean, you would think that the bigger companies have more money, and they do. But then what they decide to do with that, then that's up to them, I guess. Yeah. And I'm no big studio head, like, I don't know how that works, obviously. So I'm not gonna pretend like I do. But it's sad to see, them shutting down studios and people getting laid off. Microsoft announced recently that they're shutting down multiple different studios, gaming studios. Among them are Arcane Austin, a studio that's made really popular games such as Prey and Dishonored, but unfortunately, the latest game that they made was not a hit, and I don't know if that's why they got, axed, but then also you have the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush, Tango Gameworks, and they even won like multiple awards for that. They won a BAFTA for the animation, and they won Best Audio Design at the TGA, and I mean that didn't help them apparently, because they got axed too. So I guess we could safely say that the state of the industry is just, it's crumbling. It is absolute chaos, and it's not looking any better in the animation industry, or the VFX industry for that matter. Or I guess maybe the VFX industry is having a little bit of a better time right now, because, it's been rough ever since the writer's strike last year, but I've heard that things have been greenlit one after one, so they got probably a lot more to do nowadays, so that's good, at least. And taking all of this in as a junior, or I guess barely a junior, it's a lot. It's like a big dark hole, and you're just fighting to not get sucked in, and you're questioning if you really want to go in there. But I do see positive things coming out of this as well. Like, you see all of these tiny, small, little indie developers popping up everywhere, and people are sick and tired of, the big companies, and they go like, hell with it all, I'll just do my own thing, and they start their own studio, or they work on their own games, and I do see indies really flourishing. Like, people are really into it, and people are more and more paying attention to what's going on in the indie scene, and that really makes me happy, because I feel like we need more of this. Like, we need more creativity and less focus on the money. Like, obviously you want to earn some money so you could live, but we're sort of tired of cash grabs and seeing the same thing over and over because it makes the company money. Like, indies usually can afford to be adventurous, try new things, experiment, and it's just so exciting, and it makes me so happy. And it gives me hope as a 3D artist, or an artist in general, an animator, that there's still a future working in the arts, but I'm just not sure what that future is looking like right now. Until we arrive there, we can just, do our best, take the jobs that you can get, work on your portfolio. Yeah, don't give up. It's very tempting. Even for myself, I've thought about it many times. But we're doing this for a reason, right? So, better keep going. And with that, I'm gonna leave you for this time. I hope you found this talk interesting in some way. If you're an artist, I understand where you're at. If you're not, now you understand where we're at. I hope you guys will have a great week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.